Good morning, everyone. I am Tricia Mansfield, Senior Public Relations Specialist with the Department of Workforce Services, and I am so excited to welcome you to today's virtual training series, From Service to Success, Empowering Veterans in the Workforce. This series was created based on your feedback, and we are excited to bring you topics that matter most to you. So be sure to check out our website, dws.wyo.gov/VTS, for upcoming sessions, registrations, and recordings of past events. We will be dropping that link in the chat. Today's session is being recorded and all materials will be available on our site within a few days. If you have questions during the presentation, please just put them in the chat and we'll be sure to get them to the presenter. So let's dive in. I want to please join me in welcoming today's speaker, Mike Davis. He is our State Veterans Coordinator and Work Opportunity Tax Credit Program Manager for the Department of Workforce Services. So thanks for being here today, Mike, and take it away.
All right, thank you for that. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us here today. My name is Mike Davis. I am the State Veterans Coordinator for Wyoming. I am also a retired Air Force veteran. I am excited to talk with you today about something really important within Workforce Services, and that's the Veterans Program. The program is all about helping veterans gain meaningful employment. Today, I'm going to walk you through the Veterans Program, how it works, and more importantly, who it's for and the real impact it has. We're also going to talk about how employers can get involved and benefit from the program, some incentive programs that are available, including the Hilton Honors Program. And we will talk about the Veteran Employment Specialists and the important roles they play in supporting our veterans. So whether you're familiar with the program or hearing about it for the first time, I hope that today you'll leave with a better understanding of how we can all help support those who've served. So let's get started. So first, we want to talk about why hiring veterans just makes sense. Veterans are natural leaders and team players. They're trained to handle pressure, stay focused, and get the job done. You can count on their work ethic, discipline, and reliability. They're quick to adapt, they think on their feet, and bring real-world skills in areas like IT, logistics, healthcare, and much more. They've worked with people from all over the world, so they know how to collaborate and communicate across cultures. They also live by values like integrity, loyalty, and commitment, qualities that every workplace needs. On the employer side, there's hiring incentives like the Work Opportunity Tax Credit, which helps keep a couple extra dollars in your pocket. The bottom line here is that hiring veterans isn't just the right thing to do, it's a smart move for your business. So our veterans program is funded through the Department of Labor and a grant called the Jobs for Veterans State Grant. You'll hear me refer to it as JVSG for short. Basically, this grant helps states hire staff who specialize in helping veterans with a variety of services. The Department of Labor runs this program through over 2,300 American job centers across the country, and where our vets are getting priority of service. The JVSG staff provides support, working closely with employers and improving job opportunities for veterans. Here in Wyoming, all of our JVSG staff are veterans from different branches of the military and have a variety of backgrounds. They're eager to provide services and support to veterans across the state. Just a quick fun question before we get started. What do these four celebrities have in common? You can just keep your answer in your head and we'll go through those in a second. I'll give you a second to look over them. All right, if you said they're all veterans, you were correct. Before they became cultural icons, a rock star, a president, a famous TV painter, and a Hall of Fame quarterback, these four men all served in the U.S. military. Now, their journeys were totally different, but that shows how military service can shape careers, character, and creativity in ways we don't expect. And that's exactly why veteran services matter, to support that next chapter wherever it might lead. So there's a ton of great opportunities and services at the Wyoming Workforce Centers. But before I jump into those, I want to share why this really hits home for me. I'm going to start with my own experience. So about 10 years ago, I retired from the Air Force. I was proud of my service, I was full of experience, and I was ready for the next chapter. This was going to be the first time in my life when I had a real job. So I graduated high school in New Mexico. I joined the Air Force when I was 18 years old, and I was stationed right here in Cheyenne. I was a young single airman at the time. Fast forward 22 years, I was married with 5 kids. We moved 6 times all over the country and even overseas. I had just retired from the Air Force and turned 40 years old. We were living on the East Coast. So as you can see in the slide, I served in many units, and each of those was a big part of who I was. I'd always been part of teams and organizations that had clear purpose, strong values, and shared missions. So that sense of meaning was a big part of my life for over 2 decades, and that was something that I wanted to keep pursuing. So now we're ready to come back to Wyoming for a fresh start. Packed up my family again, moved across the country. And I was pretty confident I'd land on my feet quickly. So after all those years, I had much experience as an electrician. I managed a multi-million-dollar nuke facility and also led a successful team of military recruiters. So I thought employers are going to be lining up to hire me, right? But my phone wasn't ringing. I'd applied to several jobs, revised my resume, opened up my job search to just about anything. I would have did whatever there was for work. But the longer it went on, the more frustrated and discouraged I got. And I was wondering what I was doing wrong. Then I walked into the local workforce center here in Cheyenne and sat down with the veteran specialist. That conversation changed everything for me. He helped me see things differently, including how I was presenting myself and how I could better align my experience with what employers were looking for. So when I left that meeting, I had a new perspective and a little bit of hope. I made the changes he suggested, and within just a couple of weeks, I started receiving calls about job opportunities. Now I had a better problem. Which job should I take? And that's exactly what we want to do in the JVSG program. We want to help veterans figure out what their next best steps are. And with the current JVSG team, we've all been there before. We're here to help you where you want to go. So when veterans visit the Workforce Center or apply for training, they don't have to wait in line. They go straight to the front. They get priority access to job openings, training, and career services through the Department of Labor funded programs. Like I said, military jobs vary. They could have a background in logistics, IT, healthcare, leadership, and others. But our veteran specialists can help translate their military experience into civilian careers that will make sense for them. For example, if someone worked in supply, we can help them towards careers in operations or procurement roles, jobs like that really use their strengths. Transitioning out of the military or into a new role can be tough. And that's why our personal support matters. We have staff who understand veteran life and can help with everything from job searches to resumes, interviewing, and even adjusting to civilian work culture. At our workforce centers, veterans have access to tons of awesome programs right here through our centers. Everything from on-the-job training and apprenticeships to career counseling, certifications, and helping find that next job. The best part is they don't have to do it all by themselves. We have staff available to help match to their goals and experience. You can come into the Workforce Center, or you can check this out at your own pace. There's a QR code at the bottom. This is just a quick, no pressure way to explore what the Workforce Centers have prior to having to come in. So take a look whenever you're ready, and we can move forward from there. All right, so for a lot of veterans, just walking into a workforce center isn't just about finding a job. It's about stepping into a whole new chapter of their life. They've served their country for many years, and now they don't know what's next. That's a overwhelming concept, and it's a big question that they have. As DWS staff, we're here to be the first people veterans meet during this transition. And that first interaction can really set the tone for everything that comes after for them. They're navigating a huge life change, looking for something steady, a bit of stability, a sense of purpose, and a new plan that they can trust in. And we don't have to have all the answers for them right away, but we can be the person who listens and helps them make and take that first step forward. We talked about priority service earlier, and this is how veterans and eligible spouses get served first, but it's really more than just moving to the front of the line. It's about meeting these veterans with urgency and guidance right when they need it the most. It also means knowing exactly who qualifies and connecting them with the right services, especially when these veterans might be facing extra challenges in finding work. And it's not about those who walk through the front door. Sometimes we have to spot someone who might be eligible, even if they haven't asked for it outright. Many veterans just won't ask for help. So that's where referrals and eligibility checks come in. So when we're connecting a veteran to one of our veteran specialists, we're not just checking a box. We want to help them start building their future. So the first step in this process is we want to verify that someone qualifies for veteran-specific programs. We want to make sure that we're matching them to the right support or anything that they need to face those extra challenges or disabilities or limited experience that they might have. Then we want to explain what's available to them. Like I said, there's a lot of programs, job training, career counseling, education benefits, and things like that. So we want to make sure we have clear information to help them make the right moves. Not everything can happen in the workforce center, so it's important that we have resources and referrals available. And that might mean connecting them with a mental health counselor, a VA representative, or someone who knows the details of school benefits and GI Bill support. It's all about getting veterans the right support and at the right time. So now we'll talk about the specific roles that the JVSG staff fill in Wyoming. So the JVSG program is built around two key roles that help veterans find employment. And traditionally that includes two different positions. The first one is the Disabled Veteran Outreach Program Specialist, and DVOPS for short. These individuals work directly with veterans facing barriers to employment. The second is a local veteran employment representative. They focus on employers' engagement, outreach, and promoting veteran hiring. But here in Wyoming, we combine those into one position. It's called the Veteran Employment Specialist. So this combined role allows us more flexibility in our big rural state to be able to provide the personal one-on-one support and build those strong relationships with employers. This makes us more efficient and helps us better coordinate with other veteran service providers. Our veteran employment specialists wear a lot of hats, but it all comes back to taking care of the veteran. And so they work with veterans to help tackle their employment barriers, build resumes, navigate job searches, and connect to training, certifications, apprenticeships, and more. They also stay in touch frequently to track progress and offer extra support. And while they're doing that, they're also out there building relationships with the local employers, helping them understand the value of hiring veterans and the unique strengths that they bring to the workforce. We're here to help support our fellow veterans, especially those who are facing some tough barriers to getting back to the workforce. The help that we offer is personal, focused, and built around what they need. So whether they're just starting out or thinking about switching careers, they don't have to do it alone. We're here to walk with them every step of the way. Our veteran employment specialists focus on helping veterans who need a little extra support. And like I mentioned, those are those facing barriers to employment. So it starts off with listening and a case management approach. We want to get to know the veteran, their story, where they've been, what they want, and what's getting in the way of their next step. So there's no cookie cutter plans here. It's all about building a path that fits them. That first conversation sets the tone. We talk about their military experience, work history, and goals, and any barriers that they might have or skill gaps that they're facing. From there, we can move forward together with a plan that makes sense and support they can count on. And then once we understand where they're coming from and where they want to go, we can build an individual employment plan. This is a personalized career roadmap that outlines their goals, their action steps, and support services that we may need to help them achieve their goals. But it's not just a document that we create and forget about. We stay in touch with them. We check in regularly. We help them update the plan as their goals change, and we make sure that they're staying on track. Everything is documented in our workforce system, so no matter where they are or who they're working with, they can get consistent support from our staff. The IEP just keeps everyone focused on the process and make sure they're achieving their goals. So there's several ways that we actually deliver services, and the past couple of years has given us opportunities to kind of shape how we do that. A lot of veterans want to sit down in person, face to face, and have a conversation, and that gives more of a personal touch. Whether they're working on the resume or looking for options, they really would like to meet with a veteran employment specialist in person. But due to the size of our state and travel options and things like that, not everyone can make it in. And that's where we have opportunity for virtual services. We do offer support by the phone, video, or email, whatever works best for them. And our quality of support doesn't change. They'll still get the same guidance, same care. It'll just be in a different platform. So however we meet with them, the goal is the same, and that's to just meet them where they are and make sure they have everything they need to move forward. So one of the biggest services that we provide to veterans is connecting them with the right resources and referrals. Every veteran's journey is different, so we need to make sure we have a lot of different avenues to get them there. Your veteran employment specialists know the landscape in their local community. They're familiar with everything from training programs and credentialing options to maybe mental health support and housing assistance available. And we can't do this alone. Like I said, we work closely with partners all around the state and local communities. And we work with agencies like the Wyoming Veterans Commission, Veterans Rock, the VA, vet centers, the VFWs and Legion, the Veteran Readiness and Employment Program, and make sure we're connecting veterans to the full range of services available. So we're not just handing them a list and telling them to go figure it out. We're taking the time to listen and making sure that those referrals are what they're looking for. And we'll stay in touch with them through the process and make sure that they're getting services they need and how else we can move them along. So that's the veteran portion. Not only do our employment specialists work directly with veterans, but they're also working with employers to try to connect their skills to what the employers are looking for. Our veteran employment specialists team up with the business services staff in their workforce centers, looking to build relationships between veterans and businesses. So one of the things they do is try to make employers see what the value that veterans bring, such as leadership, discipline, and adaptability. They also try to organize workshops, participate in hiring events and one-on-one meetings to help companies learn how to recruit and retain veteran talent. The veteran staff also make sure that veterans aren't just landing jobs, making sure they're getting the right jobs, meaningful careers that help them check all the boxes that they're looking for. You should see them out in the community, out in your employment centers, job fairs, networking events, and looking to make those connections that last. So let's talk about how veteran employment specialists actually help create opportunities for veterans. Like I said, it starts with partnerships. They're constantly teaming up with other workforce partners, and that includes community organizations, other service providers, and training programs. One of the big ways they do this is through targeted outreach. This isn't just dropping off a flyer or sending out an email. They actually reach out to employers with a purpose and a plan, taking time to understand what the businesses roles are trying to fill and what they're looking for. Once they know that, they can match them to the right veteran talent and show them exactly how veterans can meet those needs. And the last piece is employer advocacy. This is where the veteran employment specialist can really step up. They're not just sending resumes and calling it a day. They're out there having conversations with employers, helping them understand how valuable veterans are to the workforce. They'll talk about things like leadership, reliability, and adaptability that the veterans bring. And then they try to help create opportunities where veterans can actually thrive and not just get hired. All right, so we've talked about barriers to employment a few times, and that's a key part of how we figure out who qualifies for extra support. So an employment barrier is anything that makes it harder for a veteran to find or keep a job. These barriers help us decide who should get one-on-one support with a veteran employment specialist. The whole point of this is to make sure veterans who need extra support are getting the personalized help that makes a difference for them. So we'll take a quick look at these. There's no need to memorize these or try to figure out if you're qualified or someone you know is. These will be screened out at the Workforce Center for you. So the first category, one of the major ones, is an individual with a disability. Any individual that's receiving a VA compensation for service-connected disability, or has a disability claim with the VA that's still pending, or might have been released from active duty due to a service-connected disability, qualifies. The new category that was added is an individual that just has any other disability that significantly limits their life activities. This could be something that's not even connected to their military service. The next category is our Vietnam veterans. This is for our individuals who actually served in Vietnam from November of 1955 to May of 1975. And it's also to any individual that served on active duty from August of 1964 to May of 1975. Next is veterans who have been discharged or released from active duty within the last 3 years and taken part in any part of the transition assistance program, which is a mandatory program when they're separating. So any individual who has gotten out within the last 3 years is eligible. A veteran who's been referred by the Department of Veterans Affairs for Employment Services is eligible also. You might be working with a case manager or counselor at the VA for some other services, and they send you over to see us. And that's like a warm handoff, trying to make sure that you're getting connected with the veteran employment specialist here. Next are those who are experiencing homelessness. This includes if you have no fixed, regular, adequate housing, at risk of losing your housing, or you might be fleeing a domestic violence situation with no safe or permanent housing. It's important to come see a veteran employment specialist before you lose your house if you're in that situation, just that they can get you connected to a resource that might be able to help you out. An individual who's had involvement with the criminal justice system could be anything from an arrest or conviction, or just help needing overcoming challenges that come from that experience. You know, we have a population of young veterans from 18 to 24 who joined the military right out of high school, and now they're facing the job market on their own. They might be at a disadvantage compared to their counterparts of their age that went through college and had some work experience. So we want to help them get their resumes tailored and put their experience to work so they can be competitive in the job market. There's a population of veterans that do not have a high school diploma. This is not really a common occurrence nowadays, but back in the Vietnam era, those veterans that were able to join the military without their diploma, and we need to help them get on track and connect them to programs that can get them what they need to be competitive in the job market. So when we talk about barriers to employment, one of the big factors is economic hardships. Those individuals that are receiving public assistance for things like SNAP or TANF, SSI, or any other state or local income-based programs is a sign of financial challenges. Families with low income can also qualify. Those that are living below the poverty line, which is not something you're expected to know, but they can help you out with that at the front desk. Another key barrier is unemployment. Any veteran that's currently unemployed that's able to work, this is a qualifying employment barrier also. And the last one is being the head of a single household. This comes with its own set of challenges, especially when it comes to finding stable employment. So these individuals are qualified to receive assistance from a veteran employment specialist as well. So those are the qualifying employment barriers. And even if any of those are not an issue, an individual will still receive assistance at the Wyoming Workforce Centers. Now we'll talk quickly about the different types of individuals a veteran employment specialist can meet with. The first category is our eligible veterans. And these are individuals who served at least 180 days of active duty and or individuals who were discharged because of a service-connected disability, or our Guard and Reservists who served during a war or campaign. For the Guard and Reservists, the 180 days doesn't apply. For all of those individuals, they just need to have been discharged under honorable conditions and have at least one of the employment barriers we just talked about. For our active duty service members, they qualify if they are currently serving and are wounded, sick, or injured and receiving treatment at a military treatment facility, or if they're within 1 year of leaving the military, or up to 2 years after they retired. Our spouses, caregivers, and widows and widowers qualify if they're caring for an individual who is wounded or receiving treatment at a facility, or if their veteran spouse died from a service-related injury, was permanently disabled from service, or missing in action. And then they also have to have one of those qualifying employment barriers. And as I mentioned, this program just doesn't support veterans. It's here for spouses, caregivers, and widows or widowers also. We can connect them with veteran employment specialists who offer personalized support to help them through their process. So how can our employers get involved? Our goal with the Veterans Program is to reach out to local businesses and make sure employers know about the services we offer and how we can connect them with job-ready veterans. Plus, there's also some great incentives out there for employers who hire veterans, both at the state and national level. We'll get into those in just a minute. So on our website, hirewyo.gov, and there's a code here you can scan if you want to connect to the website. Employers can quickly post jobs. Also, by sharing those clear, detailed job descriptions, veterans can get a good idea of what's expected and see how their skills fit the roles that you're looking for. Also, working closely with the Wyoming business teams and the veteran employment specialists can give employers extra support and resources that help them successfully hire veterans. So we're going to talk quickly about some of the programs that we partner with. The first one is the DoD SkillBridge program, which helps active duty service members gain real civilian experience while completing their last 180 days of active duty. connects them with employers for training, apprenticeships, or internships, and they're still getting paid and their benefits from the military. So for employers, it's a great way to tap into a highly skilled and motivated worker with no cost, and it gives them a chance to see if they have some potential applicants out there. For service members, they get valuable hands-on experience. It's a win-win situation for both. Here locally, we have the Wyoming Employers Hire Vets program. This is a state-level program that was created by our deputy administrator of the program team in order to provide a shout out to Wyoming businesses that show real commitment to hiring veterans. The Wyoming Employers Hire Vets program is a simple way to recognize businesses that are actively supporting veteran hiring. All a business has to do is hire or retain at least one veteran each year. Then you can fill out an application on the DWS Veterans webpage. Once that's approved, you'll get a window sticker that you can display on all of your qualifying locations. And we'll also send you a digital toolkit that you can use on your social media or website. This is a great way to give credit to employers who are committed to hiring veterans. You'll see a QR code here that will direct you to the program page where you can find out more information and how to apply. So this is another great recognition program, and this one is national level. It is the Hire Vets Medallion program. This one is run through the Department of Labor and honors employers that go above and beyond in recruiting, employing, and retaining veterans. Businesses that earn the medallion show they're serious about supporting veteran talent, not with just hiring, but also with career development tools and retention also. This is a great way for employers to get recognized on a national stage. This program is open to employers of all sizes, including federal contractors. It spans across all kinds of industries. The main goal of this program is to highlight veteran employment and encourage more businesses to make it a priority. It's geared at raising awareness and showing that hiring veterans isn't just the right thing to do. It's a smart move for an organization. So this program works by employers applying for the Hire Vets Medallion, and then they're evaluated on a few key areas related to veteran employment. And they can earn different levels of recognition, gold, silver, or bronze, depending on how strong their hiring and retention practices are. And it's not just about how many veterans they hire. The program also looks at things like veteran-specific benefits or training, support policies, and most importantly, if the leadership truly is committed to creating a veteran-friendly culture. This program is important to participate in because winning this award shows your company genuinely values veteran talent. It boosts your reputation and attracts skilled veterans with unmatched experience. If you're a federal contractor, this can give you a competitive edge in government bids. As an employer, you can get more information on this program from your veteran employment specialist, including the opening, closeout dates, and nominations for this award. The next program is the Hilton Honors Program. This is a travel support program that Hilton created in which they donate a one-time donation of 100,000 hotel points to help cover travel costs for things like job interviews, training, or relocating for a new position. This is one way to make the move from military to civilian life or into a new job a little bit easier. Travel can be a major barrier for veterans trying to land a civilian job. Those hotel costs add up fast, and that's where this program can help. So let's talk about the Wyoming JVSG Incentive Awards Program. This program gives a shout out to those who go the extra mile for veterans. It's not just for the JVSG staff, it's for anyone at the Department of Workforce Services who shows a dedication to serving vets. This is a great way to recognize the hard work of those individuals and keep the focus on helping veterans succeed. Our nominations will open in a few weeks, And you'll start to hear more about that coming up here soon. So it's time to start thinking about who deserves the spotlight. Nominating someone is easy. It's open to everyone. Supervisors, peers, coworkers, or even the individuals themselves can submit a nomination. This is a quick online form. No hassles. It's just a simple way to recognize great work. So we're looking for individuals with strong hands-on case management, creative outreach ideas, those that have come up with innovative efforts like promoting the Hire Vets Medallion program or building employer relationships, maybe some new ways to support veterans, improving systems, cutting costs, helping veterans face tough challenges like homelessness or long-term unemployment. And the winners get a cash award, a plaque, and their name engraved on a perpetual trophy that'll be displayed at their local workforce center for a year. Like I said, the nominations open soon, so start thinking about those who deserve the spotlight and get ready to nominate them. So as I've talked about several times, your veteran employment specialist is full of resources. If there's something that we're not able to assist with, we can find a provider who can get you on the right track. We can't possibly list all the available resources here, but we can get you started in the right place. So if you're not sure where to start, the DWS Veterans Program website is the great first stop. It pulls together job search tools, training options, benefits info, and support services, all tailored towards veterans. You'll also find the contact info and office locations around the state, so it's easy to connect with your local veteran employment specialist. The QR code here will direct you to that page, and like I said, it'll show the contact information for the veteran employment specialist and the area they cover for you. So here's the link again for the We Hire Vets program. If you're an employer with veterans on staff or you hire a new veteran in the future, this link will get you started with the application process. The Department of the Hire YO website is the place where you can where employers can post jobs and search for available candidates, and those looking for jobs can explore options available, post their resumes, seek out jobs, and look for, there's also some tutorials on there that can help you with interview prep, resume building, locating your nearest workforce center. And then you can access your veteran services. Plus, the site also connects you to programs like vocational rehab, unemployment insurance, and adult education. And finally, here's a link for the SkillBridge program that we talked about earlier. This is a great way for businesses to tap into trained, motivated talent and for service members to explore careers before officially transitioning out of the military. So this link would be your starting point for that. As I mentioned, we have veterans covered across Wyoming. Our team is spread out throughout the state, so no matter where you are or where you live, there's someone nearby who knows the local resources and are ready to help. From career advice to training and supportive services, we offer region-specific help. We want to make sure no one falls through the cracks. Just reach out to your local workforce center or connect with a veteran employment specialist nearby. As veterans, we're used to pushing through, but that doesn't mean we have to do it all alone. Figuring out civilian life, starting a new career, or just deciding what's next can be tough. The good news is that there's support all across Wyoming for training and help and resources that you need. Reaching out isn't weakness, it's a smart move. It means that you're ready for the next step with someone in your corner. So if you're feeling stuck or just need a little direction, start with your local workforce center or a veteran employment specialist. You don't have to do it all on your own. Are there any questions?
So right now, we don't have any questions yet, Mike. We'll give everyone a few minutes to get those added in if they would like to ask any questions. But in the meantime, I just want to say thank you so much for your fantastic presentation and the valuable information that you provided today. So thank you, Mike. We really appreciate you being here. Before we move on, I would like to ask everyone to take a quick survey on today's presentation. Your input really helps us make these presentations even better. So we would appreciate your thoughts. We'll have someone be putting that in the chat. And we'll still wait. Let's see. And in the next few days, we will be emailing a copy of the slides along with the recording and along with that survey again as well. So while you're completing the survey and we wait for questions, we will also be posting another link which will allow you to register for our next presentation. This will take place on August 19th, and this webinar features the Department of Workforce Services research and planning team, and it explores the key findings from the 2025 Wyoming Workforce Annual Report. This virtual session highlights emerging industries, shifting demographics, and workplace safety trends to help employers and job seekers stay informed and plan strategically. So we really hope to see you there. I think I'm still not seeing any questions, so we will go ahead and wrap things up. And thank you all for joining us today. We hope to see you in August. Thank you.
Thank you.